What if I told you that some of the coolest birds on Earth refuse to fly? Yup, they waddle, sprint, and swim like absolute legends, proving you don't need wings to be awesome. Today, we're meeting 20 of the weirdest, rarest, and most fascinating flightless birds, including one that was declared extinct and then literally came back after 136,000 years. From giant ostriches that could outrun a car, to stealthy kakapos that moonwalk through New Zealand forests, to giant cassowaries that look like mini dinosaurs with attitude. We've got rare parrots, tiny secretive rails, and waddling wonders that prove survival doesn't require wings. So buckle up for some feathered chaos, outrageous evolution, and birds that redefine what grounded really means. Hit like and subscribe. Trust me, your fingers deserve the workout. Meet the kakapo, nature's adorable mistake that forgot how to fly. This moss-green, chubby parrot from New Zealand prefers climbing trees at night and waddling instead of soaring. It's nocturnal, smells like old leaves, and when frightened, it freezes, assuming no one can see it. Spoiler, everyone can. The males boom like bass speakers during mating season, hoping some lady parrot will wander by. Sadly, there are fewer than 300 left, but each one has its own quirky personality. They're fluffy, clumsy, and too cute to be extinct. Basically, parrots that traded flight for a chill island lifestyle. The cassowary is the closest thing to a living dinosaur, and it knows it. Found in the rainforests of Australia and New Guinea, this bird struts around like it owns the jungle, wearing a bright blue neck, a tall bone helmet, and dagger-like claws that can slice you open. Seriously, it's been called the world's most dangerous bird for a reason. It can't fly, but it can run like a track star and jump like a ninja kangaroo. There are 3 kinds: southern, northern, and dwarf. But all look like prehistoric warriors guarding the forest floor. Beautiful, deadly, and gloriously dramatic. The Aldabra rail is basically nature's comeback story. It's the only flightless bird left in the Indian Ocean, and here's the crazy part. It went extinct once, then evolved back into existence. Yup, after the original rails vanished in a flood, new flying ones arrived and re-evolved to be flightless again. Talk about déjà vu. Found only on the Aldabra atoll near Madagascar, this little bird proves evolution sometimes hits undo and redo. It wanders the coral islands, clucking around like a time traveler who refused to stay extinct. A true survivor, proof that some species just refuse to give up. Once thought extinct for 50 years, the takahe pulled off one of the greatest hide-and-seek victories in bird history. This chunky blue-green bird from New Zealand prefers hiking grassy valleys to flying anywhere. When rediscovered in 1948, it became a national celebrity overnight. The takahe walks like it's late to a lunch date and has a beak strong enough to crack your snacks. It's curious, stubborn, and looks like a parrot that joined the gym. Scientists now guard it like royal treasure because, honestly, you don't just lose a giant, colorful bird twice and expect people not to notice. On the Galapagos Islands lives a bird that took one look at flying and said, "Nah, I'm good underwater." The flightless cormorant traded wings for flippers and now swims like a penguin on a caffeine rush. It dives deep, catching fish with its hooked beak and powerful legs. Its feathers aren't waterproof, so after a dive it spreads its tiny wings to dry, like it's pretending it can still fly. It's clumsy on land but sleek beneath the waves, proving sometimes losing flight means gaining a whole new superpower. Basically, it's evolution's version of quitting your job and thriving. This bird's name says it all: Inaccessible Island Rail. It lives on a tiny volcanic island in the middle of the South Atlantic Ocean, where almost no humans ever go. It's also the world's smallest flightless bird, barely bigger than a sparrow. Why fly when there's nowhere else to go? These little brown rails scurry through ferns and moss like secret agents of evolution. They've got no predators, no stress, and zero ambition to leave home. It's like the bird version of, "I'm staying in tonight." Honestly, if Netflix existed for birds, these guys would have canceled flight a long time ago. Penguins prove that sometimes the coolest birds are the ones that can't fly. All 17 species, from the emperor to the tiny fairy penguin, traded wings for flippers and now rocket through icy water like tuxedoed torpedoes. They waddle on land, slide on their bellies, and dive like Olympians. They can hold their breath for minutes and swim faster than you jog. Sure, they can't take off, but they've absolutely nailed the art of being adorable and aerodynamic. They're loyal, social, and sometimes hilariously clumsy. Basically, penguins are proof you don't need wings to be the coolest bird in the world. Meet the world's largest bird and nature's fastest biped sprinter, the ostrich. Standing taller than most humans, this long-legged powerhouse can run up to 45 miles per hour. Its wings are only useful for balance, like built-in turn signals. When threatened, it doesn't fly. It kicks, hard enough to knock down a lion. Its eyes are bigger than its brain, but don't judge. It's still smart enough to survive the savannas. The ostrich lays the biggest eggs on Earth and struts like it's late for a runway show. Who needs flight when you've got legs that practically break the sound barrier? The steamer duck is South America's feisty waterfowl, famous for its paddle wings that look like it's steaming across the water. Some species can fly a tiny bit, but mostly they just charge through lakes and rivers like feathered speedboats. Males are aggressive, flapping wings and bickering over territory like grumpy sailors arguing on deck. They mate for life, fight for food, and occasionally chase penguins for fun. Well, maybe by accident. Flightless or not, these ducks own their waters. They've got attitude, muscles, and a no-nonsense approach to life. Why fly when you can dominate everything around you? The Auckland teal is a rare little duck that decided flight was overrated. Living on predator-free islands south of New Zealand, it's more about quiet life than adventure. These ducks love stormy nights, hiding in rocky crevices and splashing around tidal pools like introverts on vacation. They're shy, mostly nocturnal, and only come out when no one's watching. Their small wings can barely lift them off the ground, but that's fine, they've got nowhere better to go. Basically, they're island homebodies who traded flight for freedom, proof that sometimes staying grounded really is the best way to survive. The flightless steamer duck is basically the heavyweight champion of ducks, big, chunky, and proudly grounded. Its wings are too small for flight, but perfect for slapping the water and steaming across lakes. These ducks are territorial brawlers, often squabbling with neighbors or flapping at boats like angry little captains. Unlike its slightly more graceful cousins, it's completely flightless and doesn't even try. Yet it thrives along South American coasts, swimming, diving, and waddling like it owns the place. Think of it as a feathered speedboat with a punch, proof that in the duck world attitude sometimes beats wings. The kiwi might just be the strangest bird ever invented. This fluffy, egg-laying night wanderer from New Zealand looks like a fuzzy fruit with legs. It's got nostrils on the tip of its beak. Yep, it sniffs for worms underground. It's also nocturnal, shy, and has feathers more like hair. Despite being flightless, it's fiercely territorial, using its long bill like a sword. The kiwi lays an egg almost a quarter of its body weight, which is as crazy as a human giving birth to a toddler. Weird? Yes. Adorable? Absolutely. The kiwi is evolution's favorite little oddball. The weka is basically New Zealand's unofficial troublemaker. It's a flightless bird with the curiosity of a toddler and the persistence of a pickpocket. Campers beware. This bird will steal your food, your shiny things, and maybe even your socks. Wekas are smart, bold, and completely unbothered by humans. They walk right up to people, tilt their heads like detectives, and then sprint off with whatever isn't nailed down. They can't fly, but they make up for it with personality and guts. Think of them as feathered raccoons, adorable little thieves that have mastered the art of mischief. Once nearly wiped out by cats and rats, the Lord Howe woodhen made an epic comeback. This small, brown bird from a tiny Australian island was down to just a few dozen individuals before conservationists stepped in. Now, thanks to predator control, they're strutting around again like proud survivors. They're friendly, curious, and love to follow people around, almost like island pets. They can't fly, but they sure know how to win hearts. The woodhen is a symbol of how good humans can be when we finally stop ruining everything, basically proof that teamwork really can save the birds. The Campbell teal is the underdog of ducks. Once declared extinct, it was rediscovered hiding on a tiny rocky islet near New Zealand. This chocolate-brown duck can't fly, but it's a stealthy little survivor that thrives on remote coasts. Scientists rescued a few, bred them safely, and reintroduced them to their home island. An adorable comeback story with feathers. The teal may not soar through skies, but it swims, waddles, and lives its best life in the misty southern seas. If ducks had social media, this one's bio would read, "Lost for decades, back stronger, still can't fly, but thriving anyway." Think of the rhea as South America's take on the ostrich, just slightly smaller and much fluffier. These big, curious birds wander open grasslands in groups, with males taking full responsibility for raising the chicks. Yep, dad does the parenting while mom moves on. Rheas can't fly, but they can sprint, zigzag, and use their wings like balancing rudders when running. Their soft gray feathers make them look like walking tumbleweeds. They're peaceful most of the time, but don't corner one. They kick like professionals. Basically, rheas are the chill, family-oriented cousins in the giant bird who can't fly family. The brown teal, or pateke, is like that chill friend who prefers walking everywhere. Found around New Zealand's wetlands, some populations can technically fly, but most just don't bother. They're night owls, dabbling for food and quacking softly under the moonlight. Conservationists have worked hard to bring them back from near extinction, and now they're slowly bouncing back. They've got charming personalities and fluffy feathers that make them look permanently cozy. Sure, they can't soar like their duck cousins, but they've mastered the art of staying low-key. Basically, they're the work-from-home ducks of the bird world. The Campbell Island snipe could win an Olympic medal for hide-and-seek. This tiny brown shorebird lives on remote subantarctic islands and was thought extinct for decades, until one was discovered literally sitting on a scientist's boot. It prefers sprinting through thick grass to flying, using its long bill to probe for insects. Its camouflage is so good it can vanish right in front of you. The snipe's rediscovery was one of those, "Wait, what?" moments in ornithology. It's living proof that even in the wildest, coldest corners of Earth, nature still has surprises tucked under its wings, or lack thereof. Cobb's wren is a small, determined bird from the Falkland Islands that refuses to give up. It can't fly far, but it's a master at hopping around rocky coasts and hiding among seaweed. After rats invaded its home islands, the species nearly disappeared. But once the rodents were removed, it bounced right back. This little survivor sings loudly as if celebrating every day it's still around. It's not fancy, not famous, but it's tough as nails. Cobb's wren proves you don't need wings to rise again. You just need good timing, strong legs, and a lot of attitude. The emu is Australia's giant comedian of the bird world. It can't fly, but it sure can sprint, using legs powerful enough to outpace most humans. Emus look permanently confused, like they forgot what they were doing halfway through life. They eat everything from fruits to shiny rocks, for digestion, not decoration. Males incubate the eggs while females wander off. Classic. And despite their goofy vibe, they're survivors of harsh deserts and forests alike. Emus are living proof that being tall, weird, and fast is a perfectly valid life choice, even if you can't take off from the ground. And that's it for today's wild ride through the world's strangest truths. Which fact blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments. I'm genuinely curious and slightly concerned. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-bending facts every week. See you next time.